Spiritual Manthan.
Helping others, it's one of those things that feels inherently right. We step in to make a difference, hoping to bring a little more light into the world. But here's the kicker. Sometimes our well-intentioned actions can lead to unintended outcomes. It's like offering someone a warm coat, but accidentally leaving them out in the rain. It doesn't mean we should stop helping, but rather that we need to be more mindful of how we go about it. It's easy to assume that every act of kindness is beneficial. But what if, in our eagerness to help, we're actually making things worse? Maybe we're inadvertently creating dependency, neglecting our well-being, or even enabling harmful behaviors. This doesn't mean helping is bad, far from it. It just means we need to strike a balance between being compassionate and being wise. So, in this video, let's explore 11 ways in which helping can sometimes backfire. Understanding these pitfalls doesn't make us less caring. It makes us more effective in our kindness. Because at the end of the day, it's about providing support in a way that uplifts others without draining ourselves in the process. Martyr syndrome sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But it's a real thing. It happens when you find yourself constantly sacrificing your own needs for the sake of others. You become the go-to person, the one everyone relies on, often at the expense of your own well-being. It's like trying to be the superhero for everyone else's story, but you're forgetting to take care of your own. Maybe you're skipping meals, losing sleep, or putting off your own dreams to help someone else. Over time, this self-sacrificial pattern can take a toll. You start feeling drained, exhausted, maybe even resentful. And the irony? When you're running on empty, you're not really able to help anyone effectively. Your energy, empathy, and enthusiasm begin to wane. It's like trying to water a garden with an empty watering can. Nothing grows. The key here is recognizing that self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. By taking care of yourself first, you actually increase your capacity to help others. It's about finding that balance where you can be there for others while still nurturing your own well-being. After all, even heroes need a break sometimes. Let's talk about dependency. It's a bit like giving someone a crutch when what they really need is to learn how to walk on their own. Sure, it's natural to want to help, especially when you see someone struggling. But if we're always stepping in to fix things, we might unintentionally be keeping them from learning how to handle challenges independently. Imagine always solving your friends' problems for them. Over time, they might start relying on you as their default solution. They stop trying to solve things on their own because, well, why should they when you're always there to bail them out? This creates a cycle of dependency where your help, instead of being a bridge, becomes a crutch. And here's the thing, true help empowers. It gives others the tools, confidence, and resilience to face their own challenges. It's like teaching someone to ride a bike. Sure, you might help them get started, maybe hold the bike steady for a bit, but eventually you let go. You step back and watch them pedal forward on their own. It's not about abandoning them, it's about believing in their ability to grow. Ever feel like you've been wrung out like a sponge after a long day of helping others? That's emotional drain, and it's more common than you think. When you're the person everyone turns to, the listener, the supporter, the one with a shoulder to cry on, it can be incredibly fulfilling, but it can also be emotionally exhausting. You're absorbing all these emotions, all these stories, and they can weigh heavily on you. Over time, this can lead to compassion fatigue, where you start feeling numb or detached. It's as if your emotional reservoir has dried up. This doesn't mean you're a bad person, it just means you're human. We all have emotional limits, and it's crucial to recognize them. It's like filling up a glass of water. If you keep pouring without replenishing, eventually, the glass will be empty. That's why self-care is so important. Whether it's taking a quiet moment to yourself, engaging in a hobby, or simply saying no when you need to, these acts help refill your emotional reservoir. Remember, you're not a bottomless well. Taking care of your emotional health ensures you can continue to offer genuine support. Enabling it's a tough one because it often comes from a place of love. You see someone struggling, maybe making choices that are hurting them, and your instinct is to step in and help. But what if, in helping, you're actually making things worse? It's like rescuing someone from every bad situation they find themselves in. You think you're being supportive, but you might actually be preventing them from facing the consequences of their actions. Imagine this: someone close to you has a habit that's causing them trouble, like gambling. They keep asking for money to get out of their latest bind, and out of love, you keep giving. But instead of solving the problem, you might be enabling them to continue down a destructive path. By constantly bailing them out, they never have to face the reality of their actions, never feel the push to make a change. Real help sometimes means setting boundaries and allowing them to experience the outcomes of their choices. It's not about abandoning them, it's about giving them the space to grow, to learn, and to take responsibility for their own lives. When helping others becomes your entire life, you risk losing a part of yourself in the process. It's like being so focused on taking care of everyone else's garden that you forget to water your own. Over time, your own identity can start to fade into the background. You become the helper, and while that's admirable, it shouldn't be the entirety of who you are. You have your own dreams, interests, and passions that deserve attention too. If you're always living for others, where does that leave you? It's important to maintain a sense of self. When we lose ourselves in the act of helping, we can end up feeling unfulfilled, empty, or even resentful. Helping others should enhance your life, not overshadow it. It's about striking a balance where you can support others while still nurturing your own passions and interests. Think of it as tending to your own garden first. When your garden is blooming, you're in a better position to share the fruits with others. So don't forget who you are in the process. Your sense of self is what makes you unique and valuable, both to yourself and to others. Let's get real about money. It's a tricky subject, especially when it comes to helping others. We want to be generous, to provide support when it's needed. But what happens when this generosity starts to strain our own finances? It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. You keep pouring resources into it, but it's never enough. If you're not careful, you might find yourself in a financial bind, all because you were trying to help. And here's the hard truth: you can't help others if you end up needing help yourself. Being mindful of your financial limits isn't selfish, it's responsible. It's about creating a sustainable way to support others without compromising your own well-being. It's okay to set boundaries when it comes to money. In fact, it's necessary. It ensures that you remain in a position where you can continue to help without sacrificing your own stability. Think of it like this: on a plane, they tell you to put on your own oxygen mask first before helping others. It's the same with financial support. Secure your own foundation first so you can be there for others in a meaningful and sustainable way. You can't pour from an empty cup. You've probably heard this before, and it's true. When you're constantly giving, it's easy to neglect your own needs. You put others first, thinking you'll get to your own self-care later. But here's the thing: if you keep putting it off, later never comes. It's like driving a car on an empty tank, hoping to make it just a little further. Eventually, you're going to stall. Neglecting personal needs can lead to burnout, stress, and a decline in both physical and mental health. Taking time for yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. By taking care of your own well-being, you're actually ensuring that you can continue to be there for others. It's about finding balance. Self-care doesn't mean you're ignoring others. It means you're making sure you're in a good place to help when you do. Whether it's taking a break, engaging in a hobby, or simply having a quiet moment, these acts of self-care replenish you. They restore your energy and keep you grounded. Think of self-care as the maintenance you need to keep running smoothly. Without it, you risk breaking down entirely. And then who can you help? It's about showing yourself the same compassion and care you so willingly extend to others. After all, if you don't take care of yourself, who will? Remember, being kind to yourself is the first step to being truly effective in helping others. When you're at your best, you can offer the best support to those who need it. Let's be honest, helping others can sometimes leave us feeling a bit resentful, especially when our efforts go unnoticed or unappreciated. You pour your heart and soul into assisting someone, and they don't even say a simple thank you. Ouch, it stings, right? This can lead to feelings of being taken for granted, which can then turn into bitterness. It's like planting seeds in someone else's garden, expecting to see flowers bloom, only to realize that you're not even given a glance when they do. The truth is, not every act of kindness will be acknowledged or reciprocated, and that's okay. What's important is shifting our focus from seeking external validation to finding intrinsic satisfaction in the act of helping. It's about finding joy in the process, in the act of giving itself, rather than in the response we receive. When we help without attachment to the outcome, we free ourselves from the expectation of gratitude. This mindset shift can prevent resentment and keep our hearts open, allowing us to continue giving without feeling drained or unappreciated. It's about embracing the act of giving as a reflection of who we are, not what we receive in return. Helping others is wonderful, but what happens when it starts to affect your personal relationships? If you're always focused on others' friends, co-workers, even strangers, you might be inadvertently neglecting the people closest to you. It's like being a lighthouse for the world, but leaving your own harbor in darkness. Your partner, family, or friends may start feeling sidelined, undervalued, or even neglected. They might wonder why you have so much time and energy for everyone else, but not for them. This can lead to tension, misunderstandings, and conflicts in your personal life. Maintaining a healthy balance is key. It's crucial to prioritize your personal relationships and make time for those who are there for you, day in and day out. Open communication is vital here. Let your loved ones know that you care and be honest about how you're feeling. This way, you can navigate the complexities of helping others while still nurturing your closest bonds. Remember, you need a support system too. By valuing your personal relationships, you ensure that you have a solid foundation of love and support that helps you continue your mission to help others in a balanced way. Compassion fatigue. It's like burnout's empathetic cousin. You start off with a big heart, ready to help, but over time, the constant giving can wear you down. It's as if your ability to feel and care starts to numb, like a phone battery that just won't hold a charge anymore. You become emotionally exhausted, drained from absorbing others' pain and struggles. It's not that you stop caring, it's that you've cared so much for so long that you're left with nothing more to give. Recognizing the early signs of compassion fatigue is crucial. You might find yourself feeling cynical, detached, or unusually irritable. These are red flags signaling that it's time to step back and recharge. Self-care is your best defense against compassion fatigue. Engage in activities that nourish your soul, whether it's meditation, exercise, hobbies, or simply taking a break from being the fixer. You're not abandoning those you help, you're simply refueling so you can come back stronger. Think of it like a car running low on gas. You wouldn't ignore the warning light, right? So, when your emotional reserves are low, take the time to fill up your tank. This way, you can continue to offer genuine heartfelt support without burning out. Ever feel like you're expected to be a superhero 24/7? The pressure to always be available, to always say yes, can be overwhelming. It's like everyone around you expects you to be a bottomless well of support and care. But here's the truth, you're not a superhero, and that's perfectly okay. Setting boundaries isn't about being selfish, it's about being realistic. You have limits, and it's crucial to recognize and respect them. Saying no when you need to is a powerful act of self-preservation. It's a way of acknowledging that you too are human with your own needs, time, and energy to manage. Setting realistic expectations with others helps you avoid burnout and maintain your own well-being. It's about communicating clearly that while you're willing to help, you can't always be the go-to person for every problem. This doesn't make you any less compassionate or caring. It just means you're protecting your ability to offer meaningful assistance when it truly matters. By setting healthy boundaries, you ensure that the help you provide is sustainable and genuine, not given out of obligation or exhaustion. Remember, it's okay to not be everything for everyone all the time. So what's the takeaway here? Does this mean we should stop helping others altogether? Absolutely not. Helping is one of the most beautiful expressions of our humanity. But it's crucial to do it in a way that doesn't drain us or create more harm than good. It's about finding that balance, setting healthy boundaries, and ensuring that our well-being isn't sacrificed in the process. Think of helping others like being a lighthouse. You shine your light to guide others, but you also stand firm and strong on solid ground. You can't let your light go out. You can't crumble into the sea. It's about maintaining your own strength so that you can continue to illuminate the path for others. Remember, your well-being matters just as much as those you're helping. So take care of yourself, recharge, set boundaries, and continue to help, but do it in a way that's sustainable and uplifting for both you and those you support. If you're still here, thank you for sticking with me. Let's keep this conversation going. What did you learn, or what would you like to add? Your thoughts are always welcome. And remember, helping others is a gift, but you must never forget to be kind to yourself too.